And now we're going to move on to the non-IP based screenplay that
Let's get down to the work. We should have like little blurbs, like the work. Jake, do the work.
Right,
while you're cracking that open there, just to let you know, folks, we're going to have a couple of days off towards the end of this week. The work, a couple of days off towards the end of this week because Ben's having a baby. So Thursday and Friday we're not going to be on, and Monday and Tuesday.
Yes, Monday and Tuesday we might be able to be on. Yeah, Tuesday. Monday will be challenging.
New baby will be practically changing herself by that point.
We're going to be coming back from the hospital Sunday afternoon.
Cool.
So
great.
Our first night in the house with the new baby will be Sunday night. I don't think Monday is going to happen.
Monday. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen either. But anyway, let's aim for Tuesday, and if it doesn't happen, you know why.
Right.
Well, Ben's going to open. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Jake Thornton. Ben is at Ben_Lustig. There was another Ben Lustig. One day I'm going to find him and assassinate him. I'm joking. That wasn't a threat. I'm not actually threatening another person called Ben Lustig. We're also on Facebook. Some of you watching us on Facebook now, but we are at Lustig Thornton on Facebook. We have our own page. It's terribly exciting, and we are. I think as of tomorrow, didn't we just discover we are? Actually, at the point where we can get our vanity link tomorrow.
Two things happen tomorrow.
What happened tomorrow?
One, it is our 20th episode tomorrow.
Let's celebrate with a vanity link.
And we are going to finally get that vanity link tomorrow. I hope. I mean, I hope I didn't just jinx us, but we should be able to get that vanity link tomorrow, Jake.
Yeah, so do it. Sounds
20 episodes. We've done over 20 hours of this. It's pretty awesome. Crazy. I will say, just before we jump in, to anyone that's listening or watching, we're so appreciative of you guys hanging out and being with us, and hope that you guys are getting something out of the process.
Something from it. I mean, there was just a really nice comment the other day, which was, I'm so glad to hear that it's as difficult for professional writers as it is for, people who are aspiring, because it's true. Like the work is the work.
It is
the work. It's the work. Jake and Ben do the work.
Yeah. So anyway, if you are getting something from it, please ask or pass along this information to your friends, colleagues, whomever.
We're supposed to have this podcast episode drop today as well. I'd love to be able to link to it. It was
do that.
It hasn't come out yet. We'll put it in the comments.
We will definitely link the podcast that we were guests on in the comments. We have 128 followers on YouTube, which is or subscribers on YouTube, which is fantastic. Great. I want to see more. The next goal is 1,000. I want 1,000 subscribers.
For 128 to 1,000. I mean, can we not just do it in stages, like 200
to 100? Double. I'm going I'm just adding a zero. We went to 100. First it was 10, then it was 100. Now it's 1,000.
Right. Great. I mean, great. Sure, sounds great.
Why not? Aim big.
I'm going to go for the next meaningful for me would be 500 subscribers.
Worthless.
Half as good. Literally half as good.
Does nothing. Aim for the moon. If you aim for the moon, you'll land somewhere among the stars.
This is true. You aim for 1,000, hit 500 in your sleep. Hank. So we've gone to Hank. Hank is our demon hunter character. Mm-hmm. We have discovered that in his fallout shelter, he basically keeps a demon. What does a demon look like is a question we asked ourselves yesterday. Hank has a Ghostbusters. This is the note to ourselves meets Batman setup to track demon activity on Earth. So let's answer that first question. What does a demon look like in this world? I'd mentioned yesterday that angels, when you see angels depicted in traditional art, they're just people with wings. There's nothing other about them at all, other than perhaps a nimbus of power, aka a halo, playing around their head sometimes. But what does a demon look like? Again, what does a demon look like traditionally? I think if we go what are the kind of stock placeholders? I think it's little pointy tail, hooves, goat eyes, maybe a forked tongue, little pitchfork. That's what I think of when I immediately say demon. Well, those are just some. Again, if I say angel, I go long flowing white gown, blonde hair, wings, and a halo. Not laughing at me now, are you? Like, yes, that is what an angel looks like. What do you think of when you think of demon?
That's not what I think of either as an angel, interestingly enough.
There you go, great. So what do you think of when you think of a demon?
It's funny. I don't think of either of the kind of cartoony iterations. I think of probably things that I've seen more in pop culture, more like movie based. Like when I think of a demon, I think of something probably monstrous. When I think of an angel, wings, but I don't think of a white flowy gown or a halo.
Okay, sure.
Blonde hair. Partly mainly because I think the versions of those that I've seen the most recently have been that way. I mean, like even just watching, whether it's been Lucifer or Constantine, neither depicted those things in those ways.
Sure. Yeah.
I think in 2022, the versions of whether it's Legion or Constantine or Lucifer, one of these, that's probably what people's minds go to. If they're non-religious. If they're religious, they go to church and they probably see the angel in church. I am not. I don't see those images on a regular basis.
Sure. I think probably growing up in the UK was presented far more with that kind of imagery. I think it just being a very old Christian nation and just going to, again, my family aren't Christian, but I love walking through old churches. Love it. It's amazing. It was at Windsor Castle the last time I went to the UK over the summer, and we went into St. George's Chapel there, and it was just like, it was kind of moving. This place had been like built by people, and it was amazing. But anyway, so I think that's probably what I have a little bit more of. But anyway, point being though is that actually I think we can spin it on its head and do whatever we want with it.
I'm going to share a different screen real quick, and I'm going to just go to something else that we tend to do, which is Google, and just look at it. So this is when you Google them in. Yeah, this comes up first. This is the first Google page.
Yeah,
and obviously these are quite scary images.
Look down there, little guy with a pitchfork, some hooves, and a little pointed tail.
There you go. That is the Jake demon. That's now on. I'm going to call him Jakey.
There you go.
Jakey the demon.
Jakey the demon.
I think that there you go, and there's Jakey's brother.
There's Jakey's brother. There you go.
Now, it's interesting. I do think of, obviously there's a lot of kind of Lucifer-esque imagery going on here. Some of this, I don't even know why this is in Google. I guess we got to be careful about what scrolling live, because God knows what's going to show up. Like there might be.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there might be. Yeah, totally.
YouTube-friendly content on here.
Totally. Yeah.
I should probably take that off, but I can.
So, again, I think there's an opportunity to do something that we haven't seen before, and I think that's interesting. I mean, like, are they fucking super pale with no hair? Do we do something else with it? I'd said yesterday, like, what if their skin is actually pitch black? I've not seen a demon that looks like that before. Pitch black. They look like people, but bald, pitch black skin, maybe piercings. I go, oh, what's that?
I think that's cool. I think that would be very difficult to look at as a character and not just as a monster. Like especially from more than one character. If we're gonna have more than one demon in the movie.
Sure.
We are. I think we gotta be thinking in terms of, what does it look like to have demons talking with each other in a scene? And clear in the 1925 version and with Charlize, they all looked like people.
They
right?
look like people. Yeah, we're seeing them as the rest of the world sees them in that.
And we have one beat where in this puddle down in the boiler room after the pipe bursts, we see her demon form, and we'll talk about what the repercussions of that power, that weakness is. But I like what you're saying in terms of what's the version that we haven't seen. I don't entirely know. But I don't think if there's going to be monster demons, and we talked a little bit about this yesterday, if there's going to be monster demons, which I'm down with, by the way, like demon dogs and shit like that.
Sure.
They should be a different species of demon. And there can be, you could use demon as in mammal.
Yes.
And
it's a catch-all term. Yeah.
It's a catch-all term for anything variety of from the hell space,
Sure.
Anything from that plane of existence.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I haven't watched the new Hellraiser. I'm going to at some point over the next week. But you think of the Cenobites in that, and if you told me they're demons, I'd be like, yeah, of course they are.
Yeah, it's like saying alien, right? It's they're all different kinds of aliens. They're all.
Do you mean the alien Xenomorphs, or do you mean the aliens from Independence Day, or do you mean Alf?
I'm leaning towards believing that there are these different types of demons, because actually what it does for me story-wise is that what we start to see are these kind of lower level, not supposed to be out of hell demons.
Right.
And that's this kind of what's changing in the world, right? Also, I'd love to see Hank. Hank, we're saying, has this awesome Ghostbusters meets Batman setup. So it can either be on a computer screen, or we could have an old, cool tome kind of a book that kind of depicts all the different kinds of demons, like a demon encyclopedia. And immediately, boom, we know there are different kinds of demons. I don't need to know every kind. We could come up with new kinds on the fly.
Totally.
Show that he's either got a file filled with demons.
He's got an old leather-bound Liber Demonica on his shelf,
right?
And
it's down here, right? So, and I do think I'm just gonna put this in here because and there could be a bookshelf with all kinds of
old occult oldie, totally.
One specifically is on.
He's Giles from Buffy.
Because I think this guy's relatively new. I think he's been holding here only here.
I think so too. Yeah, for sure.
On the desk is titled. What did you call it? I liked that.
The Liber Demonica. Liber. Yeah.
Oh, Demonica.
Yeah. Liber. I think it's Liber.
Liber. The Liber Demonica. All right, cool. Now we've just created more lore. I love it. The point is to answer this question. I'm just going to put this just kind of here. Demon is a catch-all for creatures of essentially hell. So Charlize is a kind of upper level.
Yes, totally. Just like with Orders of Angels, and again, I'm sure we could find something that.
We probably could link it to actual mythology. I'd rather not.
It's fine. Yeah, I'm just having a little look. But there are classifications of demons that have been done throughout time. Different hierarchies.
This demon that's here. Is not as high level as Charlize. But so we can have a little bit more fun with the way that he potentially looks. But I think he's not like a demon dog monster either.
Right.
And he's not a poltergeist possessor.
Right. Totally. Yeah.
This guy, I like maybe he is the kind of is there a version where he is kind of like almost like albino white, Paul Bettany style from like Priest?
Totally. I think that's really cool. Kind of quite creepy. Yeah. If he was like a bald albino.
Oh, he's what's his name in Logan?
Yes, totally. Yes, Stephen Merchant's character in Logan. Yeah, great, absolutely.
Bald,
a bit skinny, got some weird piercings. You get someone who can do body contortion stuff.
Yeah, and I think
creepy. Unsettling.
He would be like a class of demon that would not usually be out in the world.
Yes.
You know who else he reminds me of? Like also, like I think of like Mad Max Fury Road. Those guys.
Sure. Yeah.
The something boys,
Yes. What were they? Yes. Well, I'm blanking on that right now. Yes. The
boys from Fury Road. And so when Hank went through the text should be open to the page that says what kind he is.
Yes.
The book is open to the page describing, and what's great is describing him. What's cool is, first of all, if I see a book open to a page and I've got an image with some descriptive details, right? And then I go and I see this demon who is clearly not the same kind of demon that Charlize is. If we want to get into more details, great. If we don't, I've just established in one visual that there's lots of different kinds of demons out there.
Totally. Absolutely right. Yeah.
I don't need anything else. That's it. We just established it. Done.
Great.
So Hank is gonna, and so let's name this. Let's name this fun little character of a demon. Is he? Here's a question: is Hank going to kill him, or is Hank going to put like a fucking dog collar on him and bring him on the journey with him?
I think he should be brought on the journey with. I think it's hilarious. He keeps him in the trunk of his car,
and then he dies at some point, though.
He dies at some point. Yes. He keps him locked up in a box.
So this is like another fun. This cast is getting really big, though. I just gotta say.
Yeah. Okay. I hear that.
But I do like it. I do.
Yeah.
Really like if he is the guy from like Logan, like the way that they kind of like pulled him into the truck and kept him with them and like tortured him basically. I mean, it sucks. Like Hank kind of becomes a bad guy for it, but
he's a demon.
This
guy is a demon. He's not a nice, cheerful Joe. It's not like I've got a fucking Ewok. Although, would I pay to see an Ewok stuffed in the trunk of a car? That's a movie. It's not this movie. Hey, Lily. Thanks for joining us. Nice to see you.
All right, hold on. I'm going to bring this up here.
Great.
Lily, is Lily here watching?
Evil Ewoks, the Gremlins. This is, I think, yes. Well, hang on. Isn't an Ewok and a Mogwai basically the same thing? I think you can get Ewoks wet, and I think you can feed them after midnight. So I think that's okay with Ewoks.
I don't know what you're talking about here.
Ewoks and Mogwai. Anyway, just
okay. Well, for all you people who aren't watching and are listening, I don't know what he's talking about either. So you're with
me. Lily, who's watching, says evil Ewoks are gremlins.
Great, I love it. I got to say though, Gizmo, it's my man.
I know. Yeah.
I love Gizmo.
I love Gizmo.
The movie is not a fucking kids movie. I don't know what it was. I had Gizmo dolls. I slept with a fucking Gizmo doll.
Yeah, the first one's distinctly scarier than the second one. The second one I watched and loved, aged 10. I really liked.
Yeah, I mean, what
10-year-old version of me really liked that.
Gremlins 2 must have come out late 80s.
I want to say 91, 90 or 91.
Yeah. I mean, by the time Gremlins 2 came out, I don't want to age myself, but yes, I was
You were 26 years old and working in a bar in Hollywood.
I saw the original Gremlins, probably not in the theater, but it was 84. So I definitely saw it on cable.
Right.
But I don't know why, I'm like as a kid, like as like what 7, 8 years old, I'm watching fucking Gremlins and having a Gizmo doll. That shit
1990 was when the new batch came out.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
I was looking. You just couldn't see that I was.
I couldn't see that you were looking.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Right. Anyway, we digress.
Gremlins. So easy to get distracted, you know.
That's Lily for you. Just always there, just distracting.
You know what, though? Gotta say, all you writers out there, we all do this, right? We all get distracted and off.
Totally. Yeah. So, okay. So, system chair opposite.
And we get, and at this point, I think we're going to take 2 tactics here.
Yeah.
First, he tries to be nice.
Yep.
With the steak.
But then the guy refuses to talk. So he's like, I didn't want to have to do this, you know. And yes.
And so my question, what does Hank want out of him right now? What is this scene? Let's talk about what Hank is coming into this scene wanting what?
So he's been getting a lot of readings from his equipment lately over the past week or 2. He found this guy just wandering around. First, he was like, you know, what order are you? I'm a succubus. You know, what's a succubus doing out here? You guys don't come up here. You know, he starts. I'm not going to say anything. And but ultimately, it's finding out what all of the hellish activity has been about and why. And ultimately, he's going to, I think, get the same line of code, the same rhyme that Charlize is going to decipher later on as well, potentially.
What rhyme?
Sorry, like whatever. I can't scroll on your screen. What did Charlize do? So we had talked about the signs being threefold, hadn't we? There were going to be.
I thought we went completely away from the signs and went just to the
Spidey sense.
First of Spidey sense.
Yeah, that's what it is.
We had like an entire episode.
Yeah. So it's just okay. So she just has Spidey sense, which is that this thing is happening. So, but ultimately, he must be able to, at the end of this scene, be able to go, I know where I'm going. I'm going to get in my truck and I'm going to drive to Portland.
So here's what I'm thinking. This guy. So I like what you were saying a moment ago, which is that Hank's been getting lots of activity recently, which is cool, right? And we should see on like a big screen, like various places in GPS where this
or a map
spiked, right?
Yeah.
And I like the idea that this guy he found at one of those, but it wasn't the main one, but he can't be at all of them. But he found him, right? And he's never seen anything like this before. And we can establish that here. What the fuck is going on? There has never, in his entire 20 years of hunting demons, been 20 spikes in 5 days.
Totally.
Like, what the hell? And literally, no pun intended. And this demon, somehow he manages to convince him or trick him or torture him into spilling the beans, which is, it's because the demonic energy has risen to a level where it's over for you. The time of humans on Earth is done. You're finished. And then
ultimately,
let me finish. And then what the thing in Portland is how he connects to, oh shit, that must have been the event that you're talking about that has that caused all of this demonic energy to rise.
Right.
And we saw him hear about it and look at it on the news, but but it's because when he finds out, in the same way that Charlize will have essentially the same realization, this must have something, like it's not a coincidence that a giant disaster just happened in a major city.
Yeah. And he's got so he's okay, all right, fine, cool. Yeah. So ultimately the demon says the time of the gets him to spill the beans and say, "You're done."
So we learn that Hank has seen a spike in demonic activity and doesn't know why.
Yes.
It's the most he's seen ever. The demon won't talk, but through torture.
Is there? Yeah, I was seeing an image in my mind, and randomly I have a scene from the Dick Tracy movie in my head.
Okay.
And the scene is this. You've got Dustin Hoffman's character, I think he's called Mumbles, and he goes, and they go, he's just talking nonsense. He's like, no, and he slows down the record, and it's like, Big Boy did it. Big Boy did it. Big Boy did it. Like he's rambling, and you can't understand what he's saying.
Right.
But then he records it and slows it down, or does he like do this demonic thing where like he plays it backwards? Again, you've got that kind of weird thing of like playing records backwards and then being like, so is he like speaking in like tongues while he's torturing him? And we don't know what he's saying, but then he records it and he plays it back and he hears something. I think just there's something fun about the playing something backwards and this creature speaking in this weird something like that, don't I? That's my idea. Do what you want with it. This is the face, ladies and gentlemen, that Ben makes when he hears genius. He just doesn't know. He's just like, I don't know what to do with that.
I'm speechless. I actually like the instinct. I think the issue that I have with it, though, is that it just doesn't make any sense from a character standpoint of who the demon is. Now, if the demon was some sort of a more of a creature, or doesn't, or like if we made him more like animalistic, who doesn't speak English, and when he gives him the steak, he like eats it like a fucking hellhound or whatever, and then he manages to like figure something out. I kind of go for it. But if the demon speaks English and they're having a fight, like why is what does he do to make him start speaking tongues? And then even if he manages to start making him do that, why does
he's got some really inventive torture equipment?
I mean, all of a sudden but then also like
I've seen some stuff online. I've seen some stuff online that if it was done to me, I think I'd start talking backwards.
Why would he say that the Antichrist is here during that? Is where I guess
because he's being tortured, but of course he says it backwards.
I don't understand. I mean, I like again.
Hey, Ben. Let's go way back to Ernst Giannetti. It's emotion over logic. All right. What do I get from this?
Yeah,
I get a cool, nice moment where Hank's gonna go, fine. You won't tell me. Guess I'm gonna have to open up my little box of toys. And the guy's eyes go wide. And you cut to later, and he's all like, fucking fucked on the floor. And Hank takes his tape recorder, whatever he's recorded it on, and he's playing it back. Yeah, it's like, that doesn't make any sense, but then he reverses it. Anyway, just it's that fun thing of taking, like people always, the fundamentalists, right, going, yeah, if you play the Beatles backwards, you hear Satan's voice saying, kill your parents and become a gay.
No, I get it. I mean, I get the gimmick. I totally do. And it's not that I don't like it, but I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more about like the how we get there. This, I'm down with trying to make it work. I'm not saying I'm not.
Sure.
I'm not there yet. So let's play it through. First of all, Lily, though, to say how dare I wear a Star Wars tee and not know more about Ewoks, I wasn't part of that conversation.
Here's the thing.
You don't know how much I know about Ewoks.
Yeah, if you haven't seen a Caravan of Courage recently, you need to give that a watch.
I had the Ewok village as a toy, so top that. Anyway, in terms of
this torture scene,
if there was, for example, if we created some kind of a torturous, and I don't want to use holy water because I've seen that in Constantine, but let's say it was some kind of a poison or something that caused the demon to start having an epileptic seizure, but like specifically because this is what they use as like the LSD for demons, like
what's the demonic truth serum?
Like, yes, like if there was a demonic truth serum that all of a sudden started them going, and started doing that thing, like if there was actually like a thing that caused that, and it wasn't just
what if there were some kind of he goes to one of the books in the corner. It's like, fine, you want to do it the hard way? Fine. Takes the book out, starts doing some kind of Latin-y type thing. He's reading some kind of holy scripture, like potentially. Like some kind of incantation. The thing starts fucking writhing around, like, and starts to kind of, and he records it, and then he plays it.
So that's cool. I'm trying to get to the recording and the backwards speak. That's where I'm bumping. Like, I like it because I could see him going in the moment of agony. I could see him going, "Yes, screwed, the Antichrist is here." And then you go, "Thank you. That's exactly what I was wanting to know." Like, I get that. How do I get to why is he talking forwards now and talking backwards when he's getting
he talks backwards because I'm doing the incantation stuff. I'm actually
makes people talk backwards.
I'm actually speaking demon speak, which is when you play it backwards, it sounds like this.
Okay, so what we're saying is that the language of demons can be played backwards and sound like
and change the speed of it. Yeah. But I genuinely don't think anyone's going to go. So let me get this straight. Whenever demons are just hanging out in hell, they speak at a different speed and backwards. Just go. It's
not even about that. It's about going, huh? Like, I don't need like a logical explanation. I just need an explanation.
Sure.
Like it doesn't need to like be scientific, like it doesn't need to actually make sense.
Yeah.
Because it's going to, because it's a demon.
Sure.
But I just kind of go, at the moment, I just kind of go, huh? Like, what? Why?
Okay.
Sure. But I like it. But I just kind of just go, huh? Should I do that again? I go,
huh?
So yeah, I mean, like, is this something that like
we can leave it as a placeholder for the moment and come up with something a little bit later on? Hank, as it goes to search the demons, okay, don't talk about through torture. Hank gets into spill. Perhaps he starts speaking in like weird. Chris asks, I noticed that Ben does most of the typing. Is that a preference or because Jake can only think by mussing with his hair? Yeah, the answer is yes. Yes. At the moment, Ben is doing most of it. I'm happy to do any of the typing at any point. Maybe if
don't you have the ability to share your screen as well, Jake?
I do have the ability to share my screen as well. Yep, I can present as well. So maybe I'll do that next time.
Well, yeah. Absolutely.
But massaging my head does help stimulate thoughts, Chris. So that is why I'm constantly doing it. Especially now my hair is a bit more of a manageable length. I can do it a little easier.
Right.
So,
maybe so maybe he uses a demon tongue thing and can play it
backwards. And it sounds like normal speed. Yeah, they're just kind of playing with that thing that you think, oh, it's the demon's work, it's the demon's music, the devil's music, something like that.
Right.
We're an hour and 5 though, Benj. We should probably wrap this mofo up for the day.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. You're leaving me though on a place of going. I'm deep in thought still at the moment.
Okay, we can keep going. It's fine.
No, it's okay. I think it is a good place to wrap up because nobody wants to just sit there and watch me go.
Perhaps, yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, cool. So we'll do one show tomorrow, and then you're going to have a baby, and then we'll come back next Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yes,
Tuesday. Yes.
Yes.
Good. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Lily.
If you just joined us now and you want to go back and listen to our little chat on IP,
yes,
first half of the episode, we started off that way today.
Yep.
So check it out, and thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, dude. See you again. Bye.